Good morning, everyone. This is your host, Halal Mahdi, coming to you from BUE Chronicles. Our first report covers one of the most popular palaces located in the heart of Heliopolis, the Biran Palace. And we compare it between another beautiful palace known as Aisha Fahmi, located in the heart of Zamalek. Let's take a look. The Biran Palace is located in Egypt in the heart of Heliopolis. The palace was designed by a French architect by the name of Alexander Marcel that made it from reinforced concrete and modeled on the Hindu-style temple, with its exterior adorned by statues of Hindu and Buddhist legends. The 109-year-old mansion has been opened again to visitors after an $11 million restoration project. The restoration included repairing the decayed ceiling slabs, filling and stitching cracks in the walls, repainting the building to its old copper red color, and replanting the gardens. The Egyptian ministry mentioned that the palace's grayish color was caused by erosion, like wind, dust, and water, as well as weather damage over the years. Now we asked one of the visitors in the palace what they thought of the renovations that occurred. Where are you from and why are you here today?
Okay. Hello, my name is Jane. I'm from Ukraine. We were passing this palace just by chance. We didn't plan to come here, but I saw it before and it's amazing.
What do you think of the palace after it was renewed?
It's amazing. Look, actually I couldn't imagine that it's something connecting to the Hindi, because really I'm planning to come home and read about that. Yeah. And it's great, really.
Have you ever visited any other palaces in Egypt?
No, the Citadel. It's so nice place with an amazing view for the whole Cairo. For sure pyramids, for sure Bazaar, Al-Husayni, all these historical places.
Another palace that was also recently innovated was the Aisha Fahmi Palace in Zamalek, made by Italian architect known as Antonio Laziak. After she passed, the chairman of arts Abdel Hamid decided to make the palace a center for arts for Egyptian leading artists, with renovation costing around 30 million Egyptian pounds. On the other hand, palaces like the Champollion in downtown Cairo that was owned by Prince Said was abandoned. After the original owner sold it, it was left to rot and slowly die, becoming forever neglected. Now we asked former head of Civilian Coordination Authority Samir Gharib what he thinks of the newly renovated palaces and the palaces that were left abandoned forever.
أنا اسمي سمير غريب كاتب وناقد فني.
My name is Samir Gharib. I'm a writer and an art collector. I worked in a lot of stuff that includes journalism and in the Ministry of Culture. The last job I worked was head of National Civilization Coordination Association.
Could you please tell us more on your opinion on the archaeological sites that have been renovated and unrenovated?
مصر أولاً غنية جداً بالتراث.
Egypt is rich with historical treasures and palaces, and the country needs extremely huge sums of money to renovate these treasures. The country has a problem with heritage places as it is not legally registered in the archaeology records. When a historic place is recorded within the archaeology records, it automatically becomes responsibility of the Ministry of Civilization. On the other hand, if the historical place is not registered within the archaeology records, it is considered an old treasure that does not have an owner to sadly look after it. And that is why the Ministry of Civilization is very important. But the Ministry of Civilization alone has weak capabilities, unlike an independent ministry, for example. They may also not have the funds in order to renovate abandoned palaces. Therefore, when you ask about the palaces that have been renovated, such as the Biran and Aisha Fahmi palaces, they both are registered within the archaeology records. Sadly, other palaces that are equally as historic and important are abandoned due to them not being registered within the archaeology records. There is a saying that says a building lives with usage and dies from lack of usage. An example of an abandoned palace is Champollion Palace, that was owned first by a private sector, then sold by the people who inherited it to a new owner who stopped caring for it. It is an important palace that must be cared for and renovated by the Ministry of Civilization by spending money on it, along with the new owner, instead of abandoning it and make use of it.
في حاجة غير مستغلة.
This is Report 2 with BUE Chronicles. Stay tuned and keep watching. In an all-male dominated society, women are always overlooked when wanting to open a business. This woman broke all the stereotypes and grabbed the media's attention by opening her very own business, leading male employees.
I'm Wala Gamal. I'm Egyptian businesswoman and I'm the owner of Christophe Beauty Lounge.
We went in ourselves to discover and ask her the secret behind the success of Wala Gamal. Wala, what do you think made you as an Egyptian woman successful?
I used to work in a bank for like 20 years and that was a tough job. All my subordinates were men and it was so stressful. And when I quit this job, I decided to open something that I like and I enjoy. So I decided to open the salon and it was a good step actually.
Tell us a little bit about your childhood. Did any of it relate to wanting to open a salon?
My childhood, no. Nothing relates to opening a salon. Actually, I've been always a dolly doll, liking makeup and being dressed well and having all this girly stuff.
Tell me about the hardships you went through as a woman in Egypt opening a business. Have you ever felt intimidated by a man?
Yes, big time. I consider Egypt males dominating and they are like advising you whenever you start something new or something that they expect that you will face challenges. They usually tell you that it won't be successful. You will find so many things that will put you down. But actually I don't listen to that. And I believe in myself and I believe in my ability to act and perform like men or maybe better.
We now ask the male employees how they felt having a female boss.
Men are known to be more strict when it comes to their life in general, but women on the other hand tend to be more emotional, which initiates a huge difference between the two genders. Personally, this is the first time I work with a female. It doesn't mean that Wala isn't a successful businesswoman. She is, and maybe even better than a male. It's my first time seeing such a successful businesswoman in terms of her way of thinking and running the place and her way of dealing with customers.
The best advice that I can give you is to choose a field that you are passionate about so you can enjoy what you're doing. And last but not least, you need to have a lot of money to support you financially.
Next up, we have an art gallery nearby, also in Zamalek, displayed wonderful art pieces worth visiting. We have our reporter, Hisham Rida, right now at the gallery. Hello, Hisham.
Hello, Hala. Today we're in Picasso Art Gallery in Zamalek. Come with me.
What does the art gallery contain?
Here are some drawings that are inspired by the Quran verses and also Ramadan vibes.
Zamalek's Art Corner Gallery is hosting a unique exhibition that honors the rich tradition of Arabic calligraphy with a modern twist during the closing days of Ramadan. The exhibition, The Story of Arabic Calligraphy, showcases the work of 14 painters who were influenced by the Islamic and Arabic calligraphic traditions. Their works use the graceful curves of Arabic calligraphy to create new artistic works with a contemporary feel. The exhibition's goal was not to create traditional Islamic paintings based on techniques or basic Arabic calligraphy norms. In the Islamic world, Arabic calligraphy artists employed only two colors, blue and brown. In contrast, in the exhibition's paintings, which use a variety of colors to express words with a modern touch, according to El-Sharani's research on Arabic calligraphy and its origin. The proliferation of artistic styles of writing in Arabic were mainly developed in order to beautify written copies of the Quran, within the two main styles, angular and cursive.
Coming up next, an unusual murder story that circulated on social media. The case known as Talib al-Rahab, case in Egypt that has been going on for nearly 4 years. The Cairo Criminal Court on Thursday have come to the decision of giving Habiba's father the death penalty and giving Habiba, his daughter, life in prison. The Egyptian public reacted in shock in August 2018 over the case known in the media known as the rehab student case, after police said they recovered the body of a 23-year-old university student, Bassem Osama, who had been buried in a rehab home. Here are some of the following comments on Instagram of the crime. Heidi Anwar said how horrific and disgusting people are. Ray said, Allah yarhamu, so sad, like she didn't even love him at all. What is wrong with people? Donna Mustafa said, what disagreement is this that leads a father to bury a son in agreement with his daughter? I think she means son metaphorically, since he is her father-in-law. Osama has strangled to death by the 55-year-old man, Ashraf Ragab, who then buried him under the home's kitchen. Ragab's daughter, Habiba, who was 20 years old when the crime was committed, had lured her fiancé to the apartment where he was killed. The father told police that he killed Osama because the young man had discovered Ragab was fleeing a life sentence verdict in a drug trafficking case and forged a death certificate and lived incognito for years and was going to tell the police. Police were first informed about the matter after the victim's brother reported his disappearance and found the body after a lot of people were complaining on the wrenching smell that was coming from the building. His brother mentioned Osama had told him he was going to meet Habiba, but she called him hours later to say that Osama never showed up. This is Hala Mahdi from BUE Chronicles. Thank you for watching.